Hey everybody, and welcome to United States of Paranormal. Today, we're diving headfirst into the murky swamps and moss-draped alleys of Louisiana, a place where the veil between our world and the next is thin enough to see through after a couple of hurricanes. We're talking about the most haunted places in the Bayou State, the places where the hair on the back of your neck stands straight up and you swear you hear a whisper calling your name. Or maybe that's just the gumbo. Whatever, we're here to get spooked. So buckle up. Over the next, however long this takes, we're going to be your tour guides through 5 of the most notoriously haunted locations in Louisiana. We're talking centuries-old plantations steeped in tragedy, a mansion with a past so dark it'll make your skin crawl, and a cemetery where, well, let's just say the residents are a little more talkative than your average eternal neighbors. So, grab your ghost hunting gear, pour yourself a stiff drink, you're gonna need it, and get ready to explore the dark side of Louisiana. Let's get spooky. Alright, let's kick things off with a place that needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give it one anyway. Myrtle's Plantation, y'all. This place is basically ghost hunting 101. Built back in 1796, it's got all the ingredients for a good haunting. A tragic past, restless spirits, and enough creepy folklore to fuel 1,000 campfire stories. And when I say tragic past, I mean it. We're talking murders, suicides, and enough unexplained phenomena to make even the biggest skeptic raise an eyebrow. The most famous resident, that would be Chloe, a slave girl who, according to legend, poisoned the plantation owner's family. Some say her spirit still wanders the grounds, seeking revenge, or maybe just a decent cup of coffee. Who knows with ghosts? But Chloe's not the only ghost throwing a permanent house party at Myrtle's. Visitors and staff have reported seeing everything from a young girl in a vintage dress to a ghostly figure peering out from the windows. And don't even get me started on the sounds, unexplained footsteps, disembodied voices, and music from beyond the grave. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Well, Myrtle's Plantation is full of them. Photos taken at the plantation have captured strange orbs of light, shadowy figures lurking in the background, and even what appears to be a ghostly face in one of the windows. Coincidence? You tell me. Look, I'm not saying I believe everything I hear, but there's just something about Myrtle's Plantation that sends shivers down your spine. It's like stepping into a time capsule of tragedy, where the echoes of the past are a little too close for comfort. Next up, we're heading to the heart of New Orleans, to a place that's less haunted house and more like historical horror show. I'm talking about the LaLaurie Mansion, a place where the walls whisper tales of unimaginable cruelty. See, back in the 1830s, this place was home to Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a wealthy socialite with a twisted secret. She was a sadistic monster who tortured her slaves in the attic of her lavish home. I'm talking gruesome, unspeakable acts of cruelty that would make even the most hardened soul sick to their stomach. But the thing about secrets is, they don't stay buried forever. A fire broke out in the mansion in 1834, and when firefighters arrived, they stumbled upon a scene straight out of a nightmare, a hidden chamber where Madame LaLaurie's victims were chained, mutilated, and left to suffer. Word spread like wildfire, and an outraged mob stormed the mansion, forcing Madame LaLaurie to flee. She was never brought to justice, but her crimes left an indelible stain on the mansion, a darkness that lingers to this day. People have reported hearing screams and moans coming from the attic, even though it's been sealed off for decades. Others claim to have seen ghostly figures peering out from the windows, their eyes filled with the pain and terror of their final moments. The LaLaurie Mansion is a chilling reminder that sometimes, the most terrifying monsters aren't found in fairy tales or horror movies, but in the annals of history. It's a place where the weight of suffering is palpable, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath a veneer of wealth and respectability. Alright, let's take a break from haunted houses for a second and head over to a place where the residents are a little more permanent. I'm talking about St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, the oldest and most famous cemetery in New Orleans. Now, this isn't your average graveyard. For starters, it's above ground. See, New Orleans sits below sea level, so they bury their dead in these elaborate above-ground tombs. It's pretty metal, actually. But what really sets this cemetery apart is its resident celebrity, Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. She was a legendary figure back in the 1800s, known for her powerful rituals, her connection to the spirit world, and her ability to heal the sick. Even in death, Marie Laveau's presence is still felt in the cemetery. People leave offerings at her tomb, hoping to curry favor with her spirit or seek her guidance. And let me tell you, the offerings are something else. We're talking beads, trinkets, money, even the occasional cigar. But Marie's not the only one throwing a party in this city of the dead. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking among the tombs, hearing disembodied whispers on the wind, and feeling an overwhelming sense of unease. Some say it's the spirits of the dead, unable to find peace in the afterlife. Others believe it's the residual energy of the countless rituals and ceremonies performed within the cemetery's walls. Whatever the explanation, there's no denying that St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels awfully thin. All right, let's get out of the cemetery and head back to civilization, shall we? Specifically, to a place where you can get a good night's sleep. Or maybe not. I'm talking about the Bentley Hotel, a historic landmark in Alexandria, Louisiana, that's rumored to be more haunted than a Scooby-Doo marathon. This grand old hotel has seen it all. Wars, floods, and enough human drama to fill a soap opera. And let me tell you, all that history has left its mark. Guests have reported everything from flickering lights and unexplained noises to full-on apparitions in their rooms. One of the most active spots in the hotel is room 312, where a former guest reportedly committed suicide. People who have stayed in that room claim to have seen her ghost, still dressed in her nightgown, wandering the room and weeping softly. But the spookiness doesn't stop there. The hotel's bar is said to be haunted by the ghost of a former bartender who likes to move glasses around and play tricks on the staff. And if you're feeling really brave, you can always ask the front desk about the lady in white who's been spotted wandering the hallways, her mournful cries echoing through the night. The Bentley Hotel is a reminder that sometimes the most haunted places aren't crumbling ruins or abandoned asylums, but the places we go to escape our everyday lives. It's a place where the past and present collide, where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs, and where you might just find yourself checking out a little later than you planned, if you ever check out at all. Last but not least, we're heading to a place that's as beautiful as it is eerie, Magnolia Plantation, a sprawling estate just outside of New Orleans. Now, this place is a little different from the others on our list. It's not known for its gruesome history or its violent past. Instead, it's the subtle, unsettling occurrences that make Magnolia Plantation so unnerving. Visitors and staff have reported seeing ghostly figures wandering the grounds, their forms shimmering like heat haze. Others have heard the faint strains of music drifting from the plantation house, even though it's been empty for years. One of the most persistent legends is that of a young woman in a white dress who's often seen near the plantation's gardens. Some say she's the ghost of a former resident who died of a broken heart after her lover went off to war and never returned. But perhaps the most unsettling aspect of Magnolia Plantation is the feeling of being watched, of being surrounded by unseen eyes. It's a feeling that stays with you long after you've left the grounds, a lingering sense that you're not alone, even when you're miles away. Magnolia Plantation is a reminder that sometimes the most haunting places aren't the ones that scream and shout, but the ones that whisper and beckon, drawing you in with their beauty and their mystery. It's a place where the past lingers like the scent of magnolia blossoms, sweet and intoxicating, but with a hint of something darker underneath. So, there you have it, folks. 5 of the most haunted places in Louisiana, each one with its own unique brand of creepy. We've seen haunted plantations, a mansion with a gruesome past, a cemetery where the dead still party, and a hotel that's more like a ghostly bed and breakfast. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little spooked. Maybe it's all the ghost stories, or maybe it's just the humidity. Either way, I'm ready for a break from the paranormal. But before we go, I want to hear from you. Have you ever visited any of these haunted locations? Did you experience anything strange or unexplained? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe we can do a follow-up video on your spooky encounters. Until then, sleep tight, if you can. Thanks for joining us on this haunted tour of Louisiana. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling content. Have you ever visited any of these haunted locations? Let us know in the comments below.